Hello, it's Liz from West Star Tarot. Today I thought I would give you a little tour of my garden. It is May 24th, 2023, and here in the States we are just about to go into what we call Memorial Day weekend. So it's a 3-day weekend with a bank holiday on Monday called Memorial Day. And it's sort of the official start of the summer. You can see here I'm walking by a little garden in my side yard that has some pretty coral azalea blooming. And this is some Solomon seal with some nettle poking through. And now I'm going to go in through this lovely little kind of secret passageway. This is some sort of a cedar, I think, and it's not looking great because it has been attacked by, I'm trying to find it, what is called Oriental bittersweet. It looks like this, and it grows up and, oh, you can see, there you see. It goes up and grows around the trees and strangles them and kills them. And it is relentless. I fight and fight and fight and tear it down and chop it down, and it just, it's difficult. It's invasive, and it's spreading all over. Here we have a pretty rhodie now coming into bloom. Here's one of my little compost bins. Here's more of the horrible invasive. It's creeping out into one of my front gardens, so I have to attack it out here and dig it out, but you just can't get all the roots. C'est impossible. Let's see, how does this look here? No, it's okay. Got to twirl it around a little bit. So here's another rhodie, not quite yet ready to come out. This one's purple. And these shrubs were here when we moved or bought this house 20 years ago. But none of the perennials, none of these, this bed wasn't here. I planted this. In the back you can see hydrangea. And now we're coming up to another compost bin. And look who's growing here. One of my lovely angelicas. Oh, love her. Look at how gorgeous. This one's a little short one. About maybe 3.5 feet tall. Okay, we're coming up onto another rhodie. This has an oak tree growing in the middle of it, which I am sad to say I'm going to have to pull out. Oh, look at the color. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. So Memorial Day weekend is usually the weekend that I, really get the garden organized. And as we go through around this tour of my yard and my gardens, you're going to see that things are really pretty much a mess right now. I'm just kind of in the beginning stages. This is a Miss Kim lilac. It has not popped yet. It will probably pop out this weekend because it's supposed to be warm. These bloom much later than the regular standard. Look how big it is. Someone gave this to me as a housewarming gift, so 20 years ago. It's huge. And I love it because every time it blooms, I think of my friend Joe who gave it to me. Here, I'm giving you a little swish over because there's the deck with Luna. Luna! Lulu, come. You can see my lovely little Luna. Also, you might notice that there is pollen everywhere. So the oaks and the pines are in full regalia here. Oh, now you can kind of see the Miss Kim, what she'll look like when she pops out. So here we go. Now this is a bed that's got a sad bedraggled forsythia in it, so I'm going to have to cut that back. And here is where I planted some artemisia mugwort, and it was a huge mistake because this mugwort has taken over not only this garden. I don't know if you can see, these are daylilies that are just getting choked out by the artemisia. And although I love mugwort and I want to have her presence because I do use her in my magical workings, and she does help me connect to the moon and, you know, all sorts of wonderful magical happenings, she's invasive. So do be careful. Maybe if you want to plant mugwort, you might think of planting her in a container of some sort. Here's a little vegetable garden. I have already planted some flat leaf parsley, and this is a sage that is going to pop open in bloom any minute now. I've put in some lettuce and some peas. And I have some tomatoes in a pot that I walked by but didn't show. So here's just sort of the edge, the woodlands edge of my yard. And let me show you this beautiful, beautiful white pine, grandma white pine right there. Oh, I love her so much. And drink her tea in the winter and, you know, spring, and not so much summer, spring too. So here's my moon that my lovely son-in-law Dan created and gifted to me. I think I'm going to move it though, because since we put this here, the white pines have really grown a lot, and you can't really see the moon so well. So I got to find a new spot for her. So here is the back part of our yard. It's actually, you know, woodlands, and things are growing here that I didn't plant on purpose. So first of all, this is some sort of marshmallow. The lunaria has finished blooming, I think, yes. But look what we have here. This is a nettle patch, a volunteer nettle patch. Can you see all the pollen? Yeah, this is what we are breathing. So this is a huge nettle patch, and it goes all the way over here as well. And then this is mayapple, which oh look, mayapple. You can see in bloom. Sorry if this is a little, there we go. Beautiful, huh? So this is the woodlands, and I can see there's some daylilies too. It's just kind of funny what's popped up here. None of this has been planted. It just kind of happened. Oh, here's some more nettle. And there's some fern and sweet fern. It's really quite lovely. And we have another rhododendron. This garden back here we planted after we moved in for just to kind of have a screening. And this is an Andromeda that has so much new growth on it this year, but you can see I really need to do some pruning. Boy, it's kind of endless. So here we are. This is, like I said, another garden. This is just shrubs and things. So here we are, oops, walking along, and we have these beautiful hybrid hostas, and these hostas were gifted to me when I lived in our first house, probably 30 years ago. My parents gave them to me. There was a guy in New Bedford, which is a town nearby, who was famous for his beautiful hybridized hostas. And so my mom and dad, one year for a gift, bought me 3 of them. And this was in our old house. And when we moved, I thought, you know, I got to take a couple of those, dig up those hostas. So I left a couple and brought a couple. And now I probably have 20 of them. They've been divided and divided and divided. I've shared them with my daughter, with my sister. So they were a really great investment. Here's another forsythia that I'm going to prune back, although it's in much better shape than the previous one I showed you. And then this looks like it's dead, doesn't it? But it's not. Every year I think my poor Vitex has died, but look. Nope, she's just a late bloomer. So this is Vitex Agnes Castus, known also as chasteberry. I think this is an ornamental version. I've never used this for medicine. So anyway, she will be in full leaf soon. And then late in the summer, end of August, beginning of September, she puts out these really pretty little pale purple, whitish flowers that are wonderful. I make lovely little bouquets with goldenrod. Love seeing her coming into being. This is sassafras, which is just growing wildly. And then I don't know if you can see, I gotta be careful because I think there's some poison ivy. Can you see right there? That's valerian. And she's getting ready to pop open. So here, I'll go over here to, this is a garden up against our deck. And again, there was nothing here but this lovely rhodie. When we moved in, I planted all the plants here. Oh dear, look at all that weeding I have to do. Ugh. So these are some daylilies that I brought from our old house. And here's some lovely comfrey that I use to make salves and to make compresses and poultices. Oh, comfrey's just such an amazing healing herb. So here's this. Oh, and look, more mugwort to pull out. So annoying. These are some daylilies that I divided earlier. And here we have some bee balm. And oh yes, more artemisia. And some valerian. This is helianthus, which will come in about August. It's a nice yellow flower. And let's see, here we have the hummingbird feeders, which I have the bee balm planted underneath here, and in that bare spot right there, I'll be planting Mexican sunflowers for the hummers. Here's some more perennials. This is a bed that I'm going to turn over this weekend and plant zinnias in. And those are some hollyhocks that I'll be putting in. So I've already got a few things planted. These beautiful dahlias, are they not gorgeous? And at the bottom, down here, I'm going to be planting some nasturtium. I have some nasturtium that's kind of this color, and I thought they'd look nice at the bottom of the pot. So here's the deck. It's a little bit messy right now, and I got this planter done yesterday. So I have the cool color planter and the warm color planter. And here are plants that I will be putting in this weekend. Not the basil, not ready yet. It's too cold at night for the basil. But I have rosemary, lemon verbena, another dahlia. And then these are some giant zinnias. So they get really tall, like 5 feet tall or more, and branch out amazingly. These are rocket snapdragons, and we've been pinching them back so we'll get double stems. Here's some nasturtiums I planted in this little planter. This is calendula that I planted, and I will be transplanting it to the garden. These are some special breeded morning glories from Japan. And here I was taking a break earlier with some tea, and I'm reading Hellbent by Lee Bardugo, which is the part 2 to the 9th house. You got to check it out. It's excellent. Here are some sunflowers that I planted from seed. And oh, we all know what that is. And then back here is some motherwort and my beloved holy basil. So I have a couple of holy basils and rosemary. All right, so now that just one more stop around the corner. Boy, this is taking longer than I thought it would. Alrighty, so here's a little herb garden right outside our back door. So there's some sage that's about to come into full bloom, and you could see that's lemon thyme there and our regular thyme there. And I planted some lady's mantle because I absolutely adore the chartreuse lady's mantle flowers with the periwinkle blue sage blossoms. Oh, they look so stunning together. And then right here is catnip, which is also just about to pop. It's a big catnip. I've had this for several years. This is a hydrangea. And here's more Solomon seal. This Solomon seal is from my mom's garden, and I absolutely love having plants that my mom gifted me from her garden. It's just special. That's one of the delights of being a gardener, is sharing your plants with each other. Lulu, come on, get out of there. And here's another hydrangea. Oh, I just adore hydrangea. Beautiful. On Cape Cod, it just is so great. More Solomon seal. And this is more, so this is a garden bed that I completely dug out the beginning of last spring because it had been completely taken over by our dearly beloved mugwort. And she was crowding everything out, so I pulled out all this mugwort, and of course you can never get all the roots, but it's, you know, I'm trying to keep it in control anyway. Here's an Asiatic lily. This is a hardy hibiscus, and at first I thought it had died over the winter, but look, no, coming back. These bloom, this is like a burgundy color that blooms in late August into September. The blooms are the size of dinner plates. Here's echinacea, which got almost completely taken over by the mugwort. More daylily that I transplanted. Here's a branching sunflower, lupin. And this is a rose bush that will bloom quite a bit all summer. It's an orangey color. More daylily, more echinacea, and spearmint, which is in and of itself slightly invasive, but you know, not quite as bad as our friend Artemisia. More Solomon seal, columbine. This is a more daylily with a trailing angelica, dianthus, and here we have a couple of lavenders, more daylily and bee balm. So here we are back almost to where we started from. We're going into the front now, and we have peppermint, marshmallow, and valerian. And this is where I wanted to end up, so you could see my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful friend Angelica. Look at her. Isn't she gorgeous? This one's about 5 feet tall, and this one's maybe 4 feet tall. And it's a triennial, not really a biennial. These are second year, and these are third year. So look at how she just, oops, pops open. Oh, here we go. Here you can really see. She'll be popping open very soon. So there you have it. Here's my front step with my beautiful rose quartz and owl and a little bunny. More bunnies. Coleus in the shade, and these beautiful geraniums and my mermaid. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this garden tour. And in the comments, I would love to hear what you plant and what you grow and how your garden's doing. And yeah, peace and love, everyone.